so calling for help, I guess. We'll call 211 who's experiencing a higher than usual call volume. We're not going to call 911 because we already know they're not going to help.
Continue in English. Please press 1. Para continuar.
Please enter the 5-digit zip code where you are currently located.
For information on COVID-19,
please hold for the next available specialist. 211 Info strives to improve our services through community feedback. We are currently experiencing a high call volume. If you would like us to hold your place in line and receive a callback, please press 1. Otherwise, please wait for the next available specialist.
I guess I could take this opportunity to show you what I invented for writing. Is this it? No.
Did you know that 211 has a free mobile app for the Android and iPhone platforms? It offers an easy-to-navigate category menu from which you can search for resources for such topics as temporary housing, food pantries, legal assistance, parenting programs, prenatal care, mental health support, foster youth services, and many more. Results are offered in both map and list form. You can download the app for free from the Apple App Store or Google Play by searching for keyword 211 info. That's 211 INFO. Give it a try.
thank you for calling 211 Info. My name is Jay. How can I help you?
Hello, Jay. My name is Sean, and where do I get started? I'm still going through abuse. I've called every number there is that's supposed to be a mandated reporter, but nobody does their jobs for homeless men. It doesn't matter how disabled we are. Our disabilities are ignored when it's convenient and then played on when it's convenient. And that's predatory.
Yeah. I'm sorry you're having that experience. Could I start by getting your zip code?
I'm in Tillamook. I don't know the zip code.
Okay, I can look that up.
The problem is I've been to all the services here, and they take advantage of disabled people on the streets. The police, all on down the line, everybody does it. It's good money. The problem is that treating every single homeless person like they're a drug addict is not okay. We're not all drug addicts, and that's what the police and the services here treat us. They also talk to me like I'm stupid.
Yeah, I'm real sorry about that. I am a mandatory reporter. I can definitely make a report to APS for you.
The problem is that APS here, I'm trying to turn them in. I can't turn them into themselves. If you turn them into themselves, they're not going to investigate.
Okay, we can try to find something higher up. Could I get some demographic information from you before we start looking at resources?
I don't see why, but okay.
Well, it is completely optional. If you'd like to skip it, that's fine.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Alright, let me see what I can find for you. Okay. And for the resources that I am able to find, what's going to be the best way to get that information to you? Would you prefer that I just read it out, or is it better if I send it to you in a text or an email?
A text.
A text? Okay. Alright, let me see what I can find. Okay, let's see. I have some contacts for making official complaints around law enforcement, around I have the governor's advocacy office for making complaints about government organizations and institutions.
I got a pen.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I got a pen.
Okay. Alright, the number for the governor's office complaint line, the government ombudsman's office, is 503-945-6904.
Time out. Time out.
I'm sorry?
I said time out. I can't write that fast. I'm disabled.
I apologize, sir. Alright, that number is 503.
503.
945.
945. 69.
04.
04. And just so you know, all of these places are taking advantage of me because I have to call them alone. When I called all of these places that I was supposed to call as mandated reporters, every one of them took advantage of me, and I need to be able to turn them in, and I will be talked over by the ombudsman as well. Just so you know, you guys have given me this number repeatedly. Now, the number that I was trying to get earlier, assisted suicide, is legal here in Oregon. I want it to be legal for me. So I wanted the information to find out who I can call to get it legal because I'm tired of being victimized.
Okay. Yeah, let me see if I can find that.
Thank you. The number I was given earlier was a fax number.
Okay, let's see. Okay, so I have a number for the Oregon Health Authority around the Death with Dignity Act.
All right.
And that number is 971.
Hold on.
Okay.
I have these numbers in multiple phones, just so you know.
Okay.
What's the number?
It's 971.
Go ahead.
673.
Go ahead.
1201.
Wow. I already have that number.
Yeah, that's what comes up in my system when I look into the Death with Dignity Act and issues around dying.
I don't understand why we're so horribly mistreated. I don't understand why it's acceptable to bully people until they want to die. To have to go to mandated reporters who are just going to send you around in circles while your predators do whatever they want.
Yeah, I'd like to get you as many resources as I can, sir, but I am limited to what's in my system.
Yeah, that's the problem, is that all these mandated reporters, I end up getting overwhelmed from making phone call after phone call. You know how many phone calls I've made today or how much gas I've had to waste to try to charge up my phone to maybe 10 or 15% so I can make another phone call?
I don't know, but I'm very sorry.
I'm not saying it so that somebody can be sorry. I'm saying it because it's just one of many issues that I am having right now because mandated reporters didn't want to do their jobs when I first came to them about crimes. They just wanted to peddle me off on every other mandated reporter.
Well, like I said, sir, I'm happy to call EPS with you.
Yes, sir, but we've done that already with you guys, and it ended up being a answering machine.
Yeah, unfortunately, we can't do anything about staffing issues at APS.
Well, if they're breaking the law, you can help me to turn them in.
I can get you more phone numbers to lodge those complaints.
No. No. This is what I've been doing for 7 years. Every phone number sends me to another phone number.
Okay. Well, I understand your frustration. That
about possibly dying with dignity. I already called him today. See? 11:12 a.m. Fuck, where's my goddamn toilet paper? My nose is running off my face. That's not it. Is this one it? This one's it. Since I have problems holding a pencil, I invented a sock. Isn't that cute? By taking your pen or pencil and shove it through the hole, and that way it'll hold itself naturally where it needs to be when you gotta write. Shit, it's overheating. Oh, they're busy anyway.
You've reached the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. Para español, marque el número 2. To talk to the Veterans Crisis Line, press 1. To connect to support for LGBTQI+ youth and young adults, press 3. Otherwise, to talk with a counselor, stay on the line or press 0. To improve 988, your call may be monitored and recorded. If you stay on the line at the end of the call, you may be invited to participate in a short survey. We are checking for a counselor who is available to talk. You'll hear music while we do this, and we'll give you an update in 30 seconds. You are not alone. We care and want to support you. Someone will be with you.
No, you don't.
988 Nebraska, may I help you?
Hello, my name is Sean Schwartz.
Hi, I talked to you earlier, Sean. This is Grant.
Hello, Grant. I've called every single number there is to call, and I have gone for full circle. This is the third or fourth time that I've been sent back to your number from another number. You can imagine how many phone
and
calls
you were
it's
trying to
been.
reach... Oh, I'll bet.
Um,
And you're trying to reach someone in Oregon, the line in Oregon, regarding suicide assistance, you said.
Yep. I was finally able to get a hold of them. The number that they sent me to is busy.
Oh. Okay.
I'm a disabled and at-risk adult. Like, I get harmed and taken advantage of frequently, and I can't go to the cops alone or they blow me off. I can't go to any service alone. No homeless man can. It's unsafe for us to do so. We don't get treated very well. We're either assumed to be drug addicts or schizophrenics, and police prey on that every single day. It's not okay to victimize somebody into homelessness. I was in assisted living, and I was victimized into homelessness.
So what would help you today, Sean?
Well, sir, every agency that I've been sent to has sent me to another agency. I can't possibly cover even the crimes that have been committed against me this week in a 10 or 15-minute phone call.
Yeah.
I try to explain to people how important it is to look things up. Like, the Tillamook police chief here was arrested a couple weeks ago for something that I've been trying to turn him in for over a year. Not just him, but some of the other officers. Now, as soon as I say the police were involved in harming me, people just turn their ears off as if I'm talking about aliens and the Illuminati and astrological signs and crazy stuff like that. I'm not blaming anything on Santa Claus or the Easter Bunny.
Right.
Anyway, I'm autistic, so, but the thing is that I have Asperger's, which is high functioning autism. Now, Asperger's was reclassified into high functioning autism back in the late 90s because people who are autistic had rights. You know, they're easy to blow off, same as we are. So people figured, well, since people with autism have signs of PTSD, and since most people with Asperger's have signs of PTSD, then we'll consider those signs of PTSD their classification. But the problem is now we have the high functioning autism thing being used against us because we're treated like we're low functioning autistics, or we have a lot of propaganda mongers like Autism Speaks that basically paints us all as retards, and we're not. We're also treated like we're retards and talked over and oftentimes picked on, harassed, and bullied. I was denied my rights to turn in.
Situation.
I was denied my rights to turn in my predators repeatedly over the years. And then I was repeatedly forced to go back to officers who didn't want to do their jobs and organizations that hadn't done their jobs either. And I had to go back to them to try to turn in the crimes committed against me, even with these organizations and places knowing I'm trying to turn them in for the crimes they committed. See, that's the thing about being mandated reporters, is that I told these people about abuse that I'm having to endure, and each and every one of them wanted to skate out of it. And I've got evidence of all of it. They wanted to pretend like it's not their job or like the criteria aren't met, but they don't allow me to finish what I'm saying ever. They just talk over me. The problem that I'm having now is that a reputation that I didn't deserve from abuse that I didn't start all the way back in Virginia has carried itself this far already, and it's gotten more than one person killed, and no law enforcement agency is taking it seriously. They try to pawn me off on mental health, who tells me it's the police's job, who tells me it's mental health's job. None of them bothered to report it on any of the crimes that I came to them with to begin with, and nobody ever does to begin with. And then after they've committed misdemeanors, and I have to turn them in because those misdemeanors turned into more crimes committed against me, then I'm blackballed by that community, and I'm blackballed by those police officers and by the 911 dispatch in that area. How dare I try to turn in police who bullied me? Meanwhile, if you're on vacation and a crime is committed against you, are you forced to move to that area and establish residency in order to turn in a crime in that area?
That wouldn't make sense, would it?
It's stupid. But that's what they keep trying to pretend, and none of this stuff is legal. They keep trying to pull the wool over my eyes. It's called under color of law, and since I have recordings of it, and it is recorded, including abuse against at-risk adults, including physical assaults against at-risk adults, yes, somebody by law is supposed to come and collect me and that evidence. But now, with all of the abuse from the police department here and the sheriff's department here, who am I supposed to turn it into? I'm told to go to APS, but APS here is their friends. They already did the same thing. They refused to do their jobs as mandated reporters. They wanted to send me to TFCC, who sent me back to the police, who sent me to TFCC, who sent me to 988, who sent me to 211, who sent me to... There is no end to the number of phone numbers that I've been sent to. Part of the crimes that I have to turn in is literally all of these mandated reporters passing the buck to begin with and creating a safety risk for me and a safety issue and betraying my trust as well as the trust of the public in doing so. I get harmed every single day because police officers want to play on the mentally ill tag because they don't want to do their job for a hobo.
So, Sean, are you homeless at this time? Are
Yes,
you
sir.
on the street or?
Yes, sir. I was forced into
Okay.
homelessness because of Natalie Bollinger's death. Instead of trying to help me turn in the crimes, I always get pushed into the housing thing. Except I don't get housing. When I was in housing twice in Chapel, Nebraska, even though I was in housing and getting disability and am disabled, I was ignored by law enforcement. I was ignored by my friends. That's the problem with being autistic. You can't tell anybody anything. They're going to assume you're retarded. Most of my friends didn't even know I was autistic. I didn't tell them. And they thought I was intelligent. The moment that they found out I was autistic, they started talking at me like I was retarded and wanting to give me advice like I didn't know what the fuck my head was from my asshole. And pardon my French for saying that.
So just more of being misunderstood is what you're saying.
Intentionally misunderstood is what I'm saying. People talking over me and making assumptions and then talking their assumptions over me. And then, of course, there's the inferrations and the questions that people like to ask to try to somehow alleviate what they've done. Like there were situations here where the cops were already there. The cops should have investigated. I am obviously a disabled and at-risk adult. I am obviously homeless on the streets. And instead of doing that, what they did was blow me off onto mental health. None of them allow me to sit down in an interview room in peace and quiet and write out what they're asking me to write out. What they do is they try to send me to 10,000 other places before finally telling me there's some paperwork that I can fill out, but not allowing me a place to fill it out. The closest they'll allow is somebody to talk over me who's going to fill out the paperwork for me and not write down what I'm saying. That's why I need ample time to do it. But instead, I'm told, well, mandated reporters, the mental health places can't do their job because they have another client right after me. That's not my fault that they're neglecting their duties just because they have another client after me. That is not my fault that they overbooked like that. It's not my fault that they don't leave room for when people are abused to actually help them. So literally no organization has allowed me to sit in a room in peace and quiet and just write what I need to out. I'm stuck in public and I literally can't function because I'm stuck in public. Every single person who has taken advantage of me has taken advantage of